sometimes lightly shaping by their background and the ideals of their cultural beliefs, and as such, no man can shy away from upholding their social-cultural background. Welcome to OGTV, the People's Telly. Welcome to Places and Culture. My name is Murani KJ Shabaleji. Today, as usual, we're going places and we're showcasing the diverse culture and tradition of different people across the south-south part of Nigeria and the faraway Jola communities in the Gambia. So fasten your seatbelt as we journey together to learn more about these places and their culture. Join me after this break. Hey, and that's a big shout out going to my Delta and Bayelsa people as we travel down to x-ray the beauty of the Urobo culture. Among other things, wedding practice, wedding tradition, as you want to call it, is a bit different from what is obtainable in other parts of South Nigeria. Yes, talking about wedding ceremony of Urobo people. In the ancestral home of the man, the wife is welcomed into the family by the eldest member. She is expected to confess all her love affairs during and after betrothal to her husband. That's a big assignment for every woman who wants to get married to an Urobo man. You have to confess your secrets, if you have any, to your man and the family member that, okay, this is what I have done, except that the wedding cannot continue. And then you are absorbed into the family, and the wife becomes a full member of her husband's family after this particular ritual. And it is assumed to be protected by supernatural power of their gods. This symbolizes an agreement between the wife and the gods. Yes, this time around, it is not an agreement between the woman and the man, but of course, an agreement between the woman and the gods. Are you surprised? So I am. So let's go on the field of Urobo culture, and I bet you'll be more educated.
The Urobos are the major ethnic group in Delta State. The ethnic population is approximately 6.3 million. The word Urobo refers to a group of people rather than a territory. The Urobo people live in the Delta and Bayelsa states of Nigeria, and their major language is also referred to as Urobo. Their neighbors are the Isoko to the southeast, the Ishekiri and Ijo to the west, the Benin to the north, the Ijo to the south, and Ukwani to the northeast. The Ugeli and Agbo kingdoms are the oldest kingdoms in Urobo land. These two kingdoms' existence can be traced to about the 14th century. Ugeli tradition has it that their great ancestors and founding fathers named Ugene is the second son of Ugogwa, a prince from Benin Kingdom. The Okpe Kingdom is also one of the 24 kingdoms in Urobo land. The kingdom has been in existence before the arrival of the Portuguese in the 15th century. The Okpe Kingdom was established formally in the 17th century. The Okpe people are known to have migrated from their main origin and founded the present-day Sapele, and that's why Orojo of Okpe still exercises authority over the land of Sapele. Urobo territory consists of evergreen forests with many oil palm trees. The territory is covered by a network of streams whose volume and flow are directly affected by the seasons. The wet season is traditionally from April to October, which the dry season ranges from November to March. The Urobos live very close to and sometimes in boats in the Niger River. Most of their histories mythologies, and philosophies are water-related. Annual festivals include masquerades, fishing, swimming contests, and dancing, and these have become parts of the Yoruba heritage. An annual two-day festival called Oworu takes place in Evweni, the southern part of Yoruba area. Marriage in Yoruba culture requires prayers to the ancestors, Olivine and gods Ogene. The marriage ritual, known as Udi Aruvaje, takes place in the ancestral home of the bride or a patrilineal relation of the bride. The groom goes with his relatives and friends to the bride's father's home, bringing gifts of drinks, salt, kola nuts, and occasionally food requested by the bride's family. Formal approval for marriage is given by the bride's parents or whoever is representing the bride's family, as are the traditional rites of pouring gin brought by the groom as a tribute to the father's ancestors in order to bless them with good health, children, and wealth. After these marriage rites, the husband can claim a refund of the money, that is, bride price, should the marriage fail. The marriage, and only the physical body that is sent to the husband in the marriage remains in the family home. This explains why a woman is brought back to be buried in her family home when she dies. In the ancestral home of the man, the wife is welcomed into the family by the eldest member. She is expected to confess all of her love affairs during and after a betrothal to her husband. She becomes a full member of her husband's family after this ritual and is assumed to be protected by the supernatural. This ritual symbolizes an agreement between the wife and the Erivin. If the wife later becomes unfaithful, it is believed that she will be punished by the gods. This could be the reason Yoruba women have an enduring reputation as loyal and faithful wives. A specific dialect of Yoruba has grown up and become an individual ethnic nationality. Another dialect is prospecting at its option, Ope. The main reason for this breakoff is mainly because of crude oil revenue. The very popular banga soup, also known as amiedi, originated from the Yoruba tribe. It is a soup made from palm kernel. This prestigious soup can be eaten with starch made from the cassava plant. It is heated and stirred into a thick mold and added palm oil, its unique orange-yellow color. Banga soup and starch have gone on to become a continental favorite. Other notable delicacies from the Yoruba tribe are okodo, a yam and unripe plantain dish prepared with either beef, poultry, or fish, and spiced with lemongrass and potash. Ogwevri, oho soup, and stash also have their origins from the Yoruba tribe.
In case you're just tuning in your television set to OGTV, the program is Places and Culture, and we've just traveled to Delta and Bayelsa State where we've learned more about Urhobo culture. Now let's peep into the Ibibio culture. The Ibibios, or the Ibibio people, anyhow you want to call them, can be found in Akwa Ibom and Cross River, and I think one part of Abia State. You can find the Ibibios there. These Ibibio people are known to be very rich when it comes to food. As a matter of fact, only a few ethnic groups can match up with them when it comes to indigenous meal. Ibibio people can be found, like I said earlier, in Akwa Ibom, Cross River, and the eastern part of Abia State. Yes, you're talking about the indigenous meal. You want to argue that? Then sit back and enjoy this special feature where you learn more about the delicacy of the special indigenous delicacy of the Ibibio people. And I bet you will be convinced.
Ibibio people are a coastal people in southern Nigeria. They're mostly found in Akwa Ibom, Cross River, and the eastern parts of Abia states. They are related to the Efik people. During the colonial period in Nigeria, the Ibibio Union asked for recognition by the British as a sovereign nation. The Anan, Efik, Eke, Oren, and Ibono share personal names, culture, and traditions with the Ibibio and speak closely related dialects of Ibibio, which are more or less mutually intelligible. The Eko and Eke societies are a significant part of the Ibibio political systems. Reflecting on the tales of oral tradition, it is easy to agree with Robert McKeon's statement, which states that the Ibibio are probably the indigenous natives from whom most small tribes of Akwa Ibom and Calabar are descended. Although much emphasis has not been placed on this claim, it is believed that it was the earliest settlement of the Ibibio in the area that led to the birthing of subclans like Anan, Efik, and Oran. The use of variety of masks to execute social control. Body art plays a major role in Ibibio art. The Ibibio people are known to be very rich when it comes to food. As a matter of fact, only a few ethnic groups can match up with them when it comes to indigenous meal. And popular among the Ibibio dishes are Afang soup, which is an important dish in Ibibio and must be made available in traditional marriages, Edikai Kong, vegetable soup, and Afere Atama, Atama soup.
glad to know you're still there watching OGTV. Yes, now we're going to the Gambia. Historically, Jola communities and their lineages are highly fragmented, decentralized, and highly autonomous, and were spread out in hamlets covering several square kilometers. The Jolas of Foni call themselves Ajamat or Ajamato, and it was the Mandika who called them Jola, which means someone who pays back for something given or done to them. Yes, you get it back the way you have given it to them in Jola community. If you're a good person, you're going to get a good side of Jola person. And if you're bad, you're going to get it back, back to back. Whatever you give to them is what you take. That's their belief, and that is one significant thing about Jola communities in the Gambia. Yes, another thing, you are not man enough, and you cannot get married until a Jola man has been initiated, and this happens at a festival. There's a symbolic festival dedicated for that purpose. Until you are initiated at this festival as a man, you cannot marry. You want to know more? Of course, this is why Places and Culture is here on your screen. So find out the details of this beautiful culture of Jola community. And I will be back because we want to travel to Gambia now.
The Gambia is a former British colony and the official language is English, but there are also several tribal languages, including Mandika and Wolof. The Gambia is traditionally very tolerant of all religious creeds and beliefs, and while the country is predominantly Muslim, with up to 90% of the population practicing the basic tenet of Islam, it is essentially a secular country, and it prides itself on its broad-minded acceptance of all faith. Of the remaining 10% of the Gambia population are Christians and a mixture of localized traditional religions. Islam came to this part of West Africa across the Sahara early in the second millennium and quickly became a commanding influence, with most of the population converting the ethnic group known as the Jola or Diola tribe, as they are also known in Senegal. They make up 10% of the Gambian population and are heavily concentrated in the Foni area of southwest Gambia and Casamance in Senegal, as well as part of the north of Guinea-Bissau. Historically, Jola communities and lineages are highly fragmented, decentralized, and highly autonomous, and were spread out in hamlets covering several square kilometers. They do not have a castle system unlike, say, the Wolof social hierarchy, and further, they had no paramount chief like the Mandika, as rule was carried out only at the village level. They are famous in Gambia for their exciting tribal cultural dancing. The Jolas are an industrial people, and the various occupations included large-scale rice cultivation, honey collecting, palm wine tapping, fishing, oyster collecting, and other agricultural activities. Many women are employed in Gambian households as domestic maids. Their wealth was measured in the amount of rice owned, as opposed to the Fulani, who measure their wealth in the number of cattle one possessed. Elders are considered very important in Jola society and are believed to possess occult powers and guard societal traditions. In villages, a council of elders make many of the daily decisions for the community and exert much influence. Despite the patriarchal nature of Jola society, many women played major roles in the community and were often members in village council, religious leaders, and landowners. Women are also important as cultivators of wet rice fields in which they are predominated. Polygamy and genital mutilation are not practiced by the Jola, although outside influence has made this more common in certain villages. Like other ethnic groups, the Jola have many ceremonies that they perform, but the most known and respected is the Jola initiation ritual. In the Jola tradition, a man is not a man and cannot marry until he has been initiated. This happens at the Futampa festival. Demonstration of bravery is a big part of the celebration. Adult men would first shower in sacred water that a marabout, a spiritual man, has prepared for their protection. Some will also have small packages like jujus or amulets sewn on their robes. These amulets contain different materials or mixtures made by marabout. Both the water and the amulet would protect men and prevent any blade from penetrating their skin. They would wear big trousers and dance while using various weapons like cutlass or knives to energetically strike their bodies without leaving behind a single scratch. Women dress in clothes from the same type of material. While the singing, will be singing and dancing. The families of the initiated will save a lot of money in the preparation for the ceremony, since they have to feed not only their relatives but also local villagers. In the afternoon, after everybody has had lunch, the initiation of the boys aged from 8 to 20 years will begin. They will shave their heads and bodies and will dress in traditional clothes. The initiates are then hoisted and someone's shoulders and paraded around from sometimes before weeks away to the bush, with the women following at a distance along the dusty path. Traditionally, the boys would have to spend many weeks away from their village with other male relatives to learn about their responsibilities as a man. After the ceremony, boys can get married and start their own families, preferably as early as possible, only if that is their wish.
Yes, and my question now is, did you learn anything? Are you with your pen and paper? Were you able to jot down some points from this special feature? Well, I hope that was enlightening and educating enough. For me, it's indeed delightful to have worked today on the set of places and culture with amazing people behind the scene, starting from my transmission director, my vision mixer, the graphics, the camera guys, my editor, Shesi Akinsoya, all the voiceover artists, and the head of us all here, the general manager, my executive producer, Tunde Kazim. I want to say thank you to all of you for being part of the show, for making it beautiful today. Yes, if you have enjoyed every bit of it, do make it a date with us next week as I bring to your viewing pleasure another titillating and interesting package on places and culture. Until then, my name is Morani Keji Shabaloju, your anchor on the show.